welcome. We're live from Xi'an, China for the World Cyber Games 2019.
No, nice. They're all on the cliff! Onto the cliff! In the meanwhile, we've got Drace hiding in the back. He's going to be able to pick up the double kill.
Lich in trouble, he comes to Storm on low, Colin will use defensively, tries to save the no!
Oh no, they're not going to be able to do it!
Look at that! He's going to end the game on a corner. We see on the core, and that's going to be game!
Welcome back, everybody, to WCG 2019 Grand Finals here in Xi'an. We're back for some more Dota 2 action. We have another best of 3 coming your way, and Matt, should be a good one.
It is. It's for the third place decider. So if you remember, I'm sure we'll show it up as well, but it's only money enough for 3 people at this tournament. First and second, guaranteed, which we'll be seeing tomorrow. So that'll be Newbie and Signal Ultra. But this game we've got with CDEC coming up against Hippomaniacs. 20,000 to the victor and a big goose egg to the loser, unfortunately.
Yep.
And,
So
yeah, we can see there what happened a bit earlier today. We were covering Signal Ultra and CDEC. Very close series, went back and forth, especially that game 3. And Newbie, it was also a 2-1 against Hippomaniacs. And really the trend from that was the Invoker lost both times. So I wonder if we'll be seeing that.
I don't. Well, I think Hippomaniacs believe in it in general, perhaps. You know, maybe the persona they were putting it on their mind a little bit more. They didn't have it in their game. SCCC did have it in his. But yeah, Invoker not looking great. Ice Frog buffs, please.
Nah, keep him in the bin, you know, keep him in the dumpster.
Okay,
it's good to see a Chinese representative in both of these matches, though. Let's just call it like the gold medal match and the bronze medal match that we've got coming up here. That's one of the really cool things that we see there. Like, there's a tally on the board that actually shows, you know, for the various different countries, you know, how many medals did they win and that sort of thing. So it's really cool to see.
I haven't had a look at that. I think I'll take a look as we head away from the broadcast here. But do you think any surprises as far as the semifinal matches went?
I would have to say CDEC, I was probably expecting them to make it to the grand final as well at the very start of this tournament.
Yeah, but they didn't look so hot.
Yeah, with how things have unfolded, though, it is a worthy grand finalist. You know, you've got first place after the group stage as well as second place meeting up there to take home the lion's share of the prize. And we're into the draft. We're going to be here determining who, for this game 1, will get the nice early momentum in this best of 3 series.
We've been so quick on getting into the draft.
I love
this event. It's been fantastic.
Just see some dots, and you know, you'll be very happy. Both of their banners looking very crisp, very nice.
Yep, they got it all sorted out. Whose banner do you like more?
I mean,
they're both pretty good.
The Hippo looks pretty cool. You know?
Yeah, that's true. I like the Hippomaniacs logo, actually. Okay, Centaur being banned out, that has been a pretty crucial hero for CDEC. And they're going to take away the Rubik as well. So now if James wants to play his Lina or his Shadow Shaman or anything like that, that does make it a little bit less appealing. Tiny also being banned out. I don't actually know how much CDEC have been playing it in this event. But James is certainly amazing on that hero, so it makes sense that they are getting rid of it, especially if that's the other problem for the teams in this event, is that they might not be able to gather a ton of good reconnaissance information.
Yeah.
So Hippomaniacs are probably largely going off CDEC's stats from the TI qualifiers, and that's probably part of why we're seeing the Tiny banned out so heavily, as CDEC, they got sent down here in a large part by the Warlock, and they're just going to do it themselves.
The exact same combo.
Oh, man.
I mean, it's a fitting kit, right? Like, Bristleback, you get the increased movement speed once you hit that level 6. You've got the upheaval, allows you to catch up to people. Just throw the Shadow Word onto the Bristleback, becomes even harder to kill. And then, of course, the Fatal Bonds, just to link everyone together. So that cool spray damage just gets multiplied more and more. I thought maybe they might have gone into something like, you know, the simple follow-up lane, you know, the Sand King Lina or Sand King Lashrak, something like that. But this, you know, as you said, did knock them down into this third place decider. So why not give Hippomaniacs a bit of a taste of the medicine that they received earlier on?
Yeah, I don't think that this is necessarily something out of the CDEC playbook either, so Hippomaniacs might be caught a little bit by surprise. And Hippo just going to opt for the Morphling.
Early on as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think this hero is still very strong. Bristleback seems like probably a decent hero to morph into. Not necessarily amazing, but
Do you think they're going to pick
decent.
the Earthshaker for themselves, Hippo? Now that you can, just with the Aghanim Scepter, always target allies?
10 seconds.
Maybe, but they've already got the Rubik as the 4, and I don't really like 5 Rubik very much. So
No, but it could be 3 Shaker.
could be 3 Shaker.
We saw Arwen play it.
Yeah, that's true. Wait, is Hippomaniacs a team that ran Shaker mid as well?
No, that was Germany.
Okay, yeah.
It was
True.
Coupe. He played it
Oh, yep.
with varying levels of success. He played it
Yeah,
against
that
Conker.
Shadowblade game was not
Yeah.
so hot. Yeah, I
Conker was
remember
constantly
that one
present
now.
in these team fights, and it just seemed like he could never get a big Echo Slam off.
Okay, so they banned the Viper to protect their Bristleback a
Radiant
little
team
bit.
ban.
What other heroes are big Bristleback counters to your mind? I feel like Razor used to be decent.
Nyx can give him a bit of a break as well.
Yeah, Nyx has break. Shadow Demon, under very rare circumstances, can have break, but
Slark?
how often are you going to get Ags on Shadow Demon? Yeah,
Not
it's just a Silver Edge buyer could be
10
okay, though I
seconds
already feel like Morphling is kind of the hard carry for them this game. So
Dragon Knight,
5
he's kind of a
seconds
Silver Edge
remaining.
carrier.
That's true. I like DK in general against a hero like Bristle, just super high armor. And the Undying also, I think, a worthy ban to protect your Bristleback a little bit more.
Could we see a Timbersaw come out here to maybe counter this Bristleback
Oh
a little
yeah,
bit?
I could see that. That would be nice.
Dire team pick.
CDEC, okay, they are still going to go for the Shadow Shaman. So 5 Warlock, Shaman as the 4. Though Warlock might still be playing with the Bristleback in the off lane.
I think he will.
Yeah, I like the Shadow. Any kind of instant disable against the Morphling, I think, is putting you in pretty good stead. So I do like the Shadow Shaman for that. Of course, Hippomaniacs,
10 seconds
Rubik going to be pretty happy. He's got some decent steals now, but yeah, you know, you got to give him something.
I hate saying it over and over again. Where is the initiation? We got to see it.
Yeah,
Got to
that's
come
true.
at some point. Shaker, that's initiation. More likely counter initiation, but at least it lets you start a fight with a Fisher as opposed to an Echo Slam. They don't.
Do you feel
have-
like CDEC have enough initiation at this point?
Nope.
Still no? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, is a Shadow Shaman's going to go, assuming it's a position 4 Shadow Shaman, he's going to go an Aether Lance. He's not going to go a Blink to be able to start these fights. He's way too squishy. He's just going to get popped by the Morphling if he does.
True.
Warlock, I feel like the Golem is much better as a counter initiation item. I feel like you want to be staying on the back end of these fights. If he can get an early Midas like the Signal Ultra Pos 5 did previously,
Grims.
yeah, it'd be fantastic.
Legion
Well, there's some
Commander.
initiation right there.
Okay, so this is the one thing that in that previous series we did see Signal take for themselves. I think they definitely considered it to be a bit of a Bristleback counter.
Yep.
And with good reason. We saw the Axe be pretty effective, but I think the Legion probably even a little bit better. Does a bit more
10
damage,
seconds
slightly longer duration.
Yep.
Gives you more opportunities to utilize the Blade Mail.
5
So
seconds
I like the
remaining.
Legion pick. Can potentially be a Silver Edge buyer as well, though you don't really need to buy
You
it,
don't need it.
since you've got the duel.
Yeah, and I think maybe could like being a shotgun Morphling style game. You know, if the Bristleback's facing you, they don't really have any of these big saves. You know, they don't have the false promise. They don't have the disruption. So you can't just stop the burst damage from going in onto this Bristleback if it gets caught out.
I like the idea of a Lincoln's E-Blade this game, especially now that we see the Ursa coming out from CDEC as well. This is a hero that there might be some traumatic memories associated with it. It was one of the
Diving
heroes
a little
that
bit too far.
Yeah, but
They've got some
still
tower
believe in
push
it.
though now, right? They've got the Shadow
yeah.
Shaman that can do
10
it.
seconds
this
remaining.
is a very CDEC draft. It's lots of laning. It's lots of run at you
5
heroes.
seconds
It's
remaining.
interesting because this is, to me, it's a clash of CDEC as these like lane dominators really, and then Hippomaniacs. They're also like pretty run at you, but it tends to be a little bit more team fight oriented, I would say. So far it's actually interesting because it feels like Hippomaniacs are the ones who are maybe aiming for the late game a little bit more. I would say that all of the 3 heroes that they've picked so far are on the slightly greedier side.
You would think so. I mean, Rubik. It's hard to say, right? If he's greedy
Yeah.
or not. It depends how you.
Depends on
choose
how
to
good of
build
his
him.
start
Yeah,
he gets. Like if you get shut out in lane, you feel like you just don't really do anything. And it depends on how good the spells are that you can steal that game and how much your team is fighting. You're not going to turn around the game all by yourself, but that's not something that very many position 4s can do anyway.
This
So
is a decent Wyvern game, honestly. they can't do much damage throughout
For
a cold
Hippo?
embrace. Yeah,
Yeah, I could see it.
Radiant
you could
team
burst down a
lost.
Shadow Shaman. Oh, ooh.
Ah, Necrophos.
Well, we haven't seen him in a while.
Okay, also
Oh,
kind
please
of
let
a-
it be the parrot. Oh, please.
Oh, yeah, I hope so.
I love it.
Also a pretty good hero against Bristleback.
Yep. Especially once he's turned in your direction with the Legion.
Yeah. So I think it's definitely, at this point, it's got to be a shotgun game for the Morphling, right? Shotgun with
10
the,
seconds
like, get those fast Legion kills, synergize with the Necro.
5
Oh, man.
seconds
So,
remaining.
do you reckon this is Necro mid?
I think so. I think there's a little bit of flex, like Necro Legion off lane mid, but
I'm just thinking, like, if you put him into this core role, right, and you see the Legion Commander as more of just an initiation tool, burst down one hero, and then anything else is a bonus, right? If
Actually,
you
I
use
think
the
it- I
press
think-
the attack with the
Dire
Necrophos, when he's got the
team
Ghost Shroud up, that heals for so much.
yeah. Actually, I think it's Morphling mid, and I think Necro is safe laning against the Bristleback.
Yeah,
I think that's the plan.
could work.
Because then, like, you know, Bristle's going on you, you're getting a ton of Quill stacks, you pop the Ghost Shroud, all of a sudden the damage from the Quill Spray turns off, you pop your stick, you go pretty much all the way back to full. He's taking damage the entire time.
10 seconds
Hippomaniacs seem unfazed by this Bristleback pick, I gotta say.
5
I mean,
seconds
well, they're
remaining.
picking all of the counters for it, essentially.
Yeah.
They don't really need anything else. I think they've got what's going to deal with the Bristleback fairly well. The Ghost Shroud as well is pretty good counter to against the Bristleback and the Ursa.
Yeah, no, it's a
like a
pretty
free Ghost
very
Shroud
value here. And the Shadow Demon ban makes sense to me. I think Hippomaniacs could have potentially gotten away with taking the Shadow Demon in one of these spots,
And then
maybe
Necro
the
last.
Necrophos spot, and then taking
Who
the
picks
Necro
Necro,
last.
right? Like, that's the
Yeah,
thing.
exactly. Like who do you think is gonna? Who is possibly gonna pick Necrophos in this position? But that's Hippomaniacs for you. And then Storm Spirit as the ban. Certainly a good hero against the Morphling and the Necro. So, and their lockdown for it would be okay, but I can completely understand why they would want to get rid of it this game.
I'm just trying to think what else they could
10
potentially pick with
seconds
this.
remaining.
For their 5,
Yeah.
they might just consider like a Lion or
I still think the Wyvern's a good pick.
yeah, Wyvern's good. Venge maybe.
Yeah, Venge works.
Venge is like
Radiant
just
team
okay.
AA.
Ooh.
Silence is
Oh, that's
okay.
yet another Bristleback counter.
Yeah. You don't want to get too many of those Arcane Curse stacks up on you.
No. And I like it against the Shadow Shaman, and hell, even the Warlock. That's going to disable Warlock's ability to rock counter initiate against the Legion duel.
Might
Man,
need to
I'm super digging this Hippomaniacs draft.
Choose your hero.
And
something a little bit different. So you
Okay.
can stop some of the damage coming through from the Legion Commander, but not all too much, right? Because you're
Yeah.
probably going to see the Shotgun come through. You're probably going to see the Reaper's Scythe come through as well. And the Fade Bolt is going to be dealing some additional damage too. So,
and I think it's supposed to be a counter to the Necrophos.
yeah,
As
I
well.
would think so. I'm really liking the Hippomaniacs draft, though.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I think I'm favoring Hippomaniacs.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Unfortunately, we're not going to be changing our prediction record because we're going for the same team.
We've both only got one wrong, so I think we're doing pretty well.
We're doing okay.
Yeah.
We also haven't had that many games. It's been a very chill tournament for us.
Yes.
It's been a very good
Very
times.
enjoyable, though. It means that we
Oh,
get to
for
sit
sure.
back and watch a lot of all these different.
I've been watching the
teams.
other games.
Yeah.
I've been learning about Clash Royale.
Yeah.
As well. I might actually, like, I'm not big on mobile games.
It's
but
fun.
It like the way that seems like you do have to spend a little bit of money, but
You
it's
don't
like
have
a
to.
fairly deep game actually.
No,
for
it's just like time
something
gated,
on mobile.
basically.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
You don't have to like.
I got to start now.
Yeah, well, the casters were telling me about like, oh man, before I got on my flight, I should have like prepped
Queued
the
up
opening of
the
this
chests
chest. Yeah,
and-
because
yeah,
there's like a
yeah,
16-hour chest, and it makes sense, right? You get all the big value items through that.
Yeah. Okay, so I can't wait to get into this game, honestly. I'm super excited to see how the CDEC taking some strategies away from Signal, but then also Hippomaniacs. I think they've got some great answers. So we've already given predictions maybe for this first game. Do you feel like you had... We won't hold you to it, but overall series predictions
Prepare
coming
for
in?
battle.
2-1 CDEC.
Okay. I think that's fair. I'm expecting a 2-1 as well. It was CDEC winning against Hippo in the group stages, which is the reason that they were
Yep,
in the
third seed.
third place spot.
Yep, both
So-
4-3 though were their records. So it was probably right down to the wire with that one. And seeing the Warlock, is he placing a ward just yet? might have been spotted out.
Oh, he's got the rock and the new set. Cool.
Ooh.
Wait, do we have...
Is that the monkey one?
Huh?
The monkey set? Is that what the...
the monkey golem, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like kind of the like Inca themed.
Yeah, but
set.
no
Pretty cool.
parrot.
No parrot necro.
I'm very sad.
Big disappointment.
30
But,
seconds to battle.
Okay, so I wonder how the Morphling's going to do mid against the Pugna. Like, Pugna does have a lot of burst, so I imagine that the Morphling has to be pretty careful, at least early on. Though the Pugna's probably also going to get harassed down by some adaptive strike spam.
Yeah, especially with the change to the shift, right? It's just a little bit slower than it used to be.
Man, this is a pretty scary dual lane from CDEC.
Goes the viscous nasal goo as well. That'll actually do a fair amount for the Shadow Shaman. He hits like a truck at level 1.
Yeah, and they don't really have a whole lot of armor on these heroes. That's weird though, right? Goo level 1.
I think it's okay. You can harass him out a little bit. What is he going to do, really, right? Yeah. In the lane. You can just, like, whenever he moves up to try and get a last hit, just goo, whack him.
Man, goo costs so little mana.
Yep.
12 mana, really?
Yep.
Oh my word.
It's a bit of a buff. It used to be 20, I believe, so nice little buff for him there.
Okay. I mean, it's still going to give a lot of stick charges, but...
Just kill him before you give the charge. Easy.
Yeah.
Easy game.
It's a little bit unexpected. I guess he's going to forgo Bristleback for a little while, probably. Just getting more points up in the quills.
Nice cooperative denying there as well. Something that, honestly, I don't think we see enough of. You know, you got to work together with your team to make sure you're getting that big value out of these denies.
They've buffed up the Glaives of Wisdom quite a bit on Silencer, right? That's been happening over multiple patches. Legion not bringing a ton of regen to this lane. Does have the salve in the backpack, but this is actually a lane that's kind of annoying for the Warlock. Can only really use the heals defensively. His stuff's going to get purged off if he uses it offensively.
I'm liking the Fade Bolt there. Hippomaniacs, I'm a little bit impressed by their laning stage so far, just being able to use things just before CDEC are kind of needing them to. Oh, I thought they might try and chase in, but not too confident about
nice
running
side
into a
pull
creep
from Senny. Actually gets 2 creeps out of there. Can they actually... They are pushing the lane pretty heavily, though. There's all these dire range creeps still stacked up. That's the one nice thing about going the Quill Spray, or going the goo at low levels for the Bristle, is he's not pushing the wave. So it is pushing in towards him, and he can farm under his tower a little bit more, but also taking big damage and now forced to pop the salve.
Yeah, actually going the stick himself as well, so you would think...
Yeah, makes sense.
Going up against a Bristleback, but of course the Death Pulse doing quite a fair amount. Oh, looking to chase through. This Shadow Shaman's quite low. They could be in big trouble here.
Yeah, he's taken down to the Arcane Curse. One more auto attack. He's got the stick charges. Keeping himself alive. Looks like the Curse will not quite be enough damage. It's only level 1.
And those Boots of Speed really coming in handy for the Shadow Shaman here.
Pugna being very annoying at the mid lane.
I mean, that's just Pugna things, you know?
Yeah. Spam decrep on the other guy.
Level 4 now as well, so... Oh, and a little bit of trouble here.
I think he needs, like, maybe one more hit. Yeah.
Oh, taking a bit of damage here is the Silencer.
Actually, why not just,
Deny yourself. Oh, he's getting an XP range. Maybe. I'm not sure if he quite snared that one, but he was moving towards it.
Okay, nice for the Silencer coming back with full HP and mana. The Shaman is grabbing a couple of levels in the meantime. Pugna takes some auto attacks in mid, so the Morphling is harassing out.
But look at the last hits.
Yeah, it's a bit of a stomping at mid lane.
21 and 9, wow. This is a very confident Rubik as well.
Yeah, lift up. Rubik taking some damage. Doesn't have the Fade Bolt for a little bit, but looks like Ursa does not have the move speed. And do they have the nukes coming back off cooldown? Overwhelming odds up in a couple of seconds.
He's waiting for the creep wave.
He's waiting for the creep wave to come in. Is it going to be quite enough damage? Not quite. And Warlock ready with the heals to top his Ursa back off.
Yeah. Rubik as well. Pop the Mango just to try and maybe finish him off, but he's going to be able to create enough space there.
Well, turns out that this is a really good matchup for Pugna. I didn't think it would be quite this good, but
who knew, right?
We don't see Pugna very often, so. So I think the one ingredient that CDEC might be missing here is Bristleback is in some danger. He pops his stick charges already, but Silencer just looking to run him down, and that is first blood for Curry. I think the ingredient that CDEC are missing is they don't have the Warlock with him, for one, and two, they don't seem to be stacking for him really either. So I don't think we're going to be seeing anywhere close to that #1 net worth Nando Bristle that we saw in the earlier series.
And he's actually forced to walk all the way back out to lane, TP being on cooldown. So that creep wave was pulled through. It's going to mostly go to the Shadow Shaman, who isn't really who you want to give it to at this point.
Honestly, it seems like the Shaman's going to end up as the position 3. Like, Bristleback's just getting nothing.
Radiant's top tower is
A
under
little bit
attack.
low here on the Morphling.
Yeah, there's a lot of spam coming in with this Arcane Rune. Supreme needing to be careful down bottom. Ursa getting gone under. They have that last little bit of damage to finish him off. 50 HP, the auto attacks. Legion just going for the dive. Does have the salve if they finish this kill successfully. Ursa tangoing his way through the trees. Do they have another Fade Bolt? They do not. He's got stick charges, but all it takes is the overwhelming odds to finish that kill. Bounty Rune's also spawning up. They will be able to push Seni away from the Radiant one, but looks like it is going to be 2 on the bottom side for the Hippomaniacs as they get 3 overall.
And a full level ahead on the Pugna here, just from all of those denies. 13 denies versus 1. It's always going to be more favorable for
kind of manning up. Both heroes popping the stick. Silencer hoping for the high ground advantage. Still has a Fairy Fire. Okay.
Shadow Shaman mindful not to pop that Hex before he could run away. He still had a couple of seconds left on the Arcane Curse.
Oh man, Morphling is playing with fire on this mid lane. Every single time I look at him.
Here comes the pressure as well onto this tower. You've got a siege creep here. Might actually just go down to the tower. I wonder if they'll glyph to try and save it. Oh, yep, there it is.
He's got the, he can decrypt it as well.
Yeah. Maybe he's just looking for the double save.
Could be worth it. How do you feel about this Ursa pick this game? It's mostly to just counter the Legion commander in lane, right?
Yeah, I mean, when did they pick it? Was it 4th on their team?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Legion was already revealed at that point. Instant counter for it. I think you would hope that you would have had a bit of a better, like, last hit advantage over the Legion commander.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's actually going all that well. The Rubik is certainly annoying for the Ursa. Like, lots of fast attacks, but Rubik has taken a big chunk out of your damage.
We've got a double damage Shadow Shaman here, so they'll have to be a little bit careful if they're going to get caught out, and he's dead.
Legion need to be careful. They lift back onto the Shaman. Needs one more hit. Do they have enough damage? He purges off the Fatal Bond, so won't be able to kill him that way. They were trying to hit that melee creep to bring him down. Meanwhile, Bristleback in some trouble. They do have the Reaper's Scythe, and he doesn't have nearly enough points in the Bristleback to survive that. Down he goes. Veil already picked up for this Necrophos. He is looking absolutely huge. 3.7k net worth. Far and away the top. Looks like they are going to end up losing the Rubik in the trees here, perhaps. No. Shadow Shaman can't actually stay on top of him. Supreme now coming in, laying in with the auto attacks, throws at the Adaptive Strike. Does need to be careful of the Pugna. They've got the lift, the heal. Attempted. Do they have enough damage? They do. Rubik surviving on just a sliver. They do have the Fatal Bonds onto him, though. Warlock's just going to punch the Morphling, hoping to finish him off, but it's not enough. Morphling gets the double. They will end up losing the Tier 1 tower mid in the meantime, but still, Hippomaniacs having a fantastic time in this early game.
I would have thought that the Pugna would be, like, I know he's got a 1k net worth lead over this Morphling.
Yep.
I thought it would be more, really.
Okay.
Just based off the early game stage that he's had, you know, relative to, like, the Necro advantage, you know?
Yeah, I guess the matchup's just not... It seemed pretty one-sided, but Morphling was still getting bits and pieces, adaptive striking, the range creeps, that kind of thing.
No?
Pugna going to be stacking up those Ancients, all right. Good
nice
guy.
Bottle resip as well.
Yeah, so XM stacks it. Looks like he's going to be clearing out.
What a good guy, right?
Well,
Taking
I mean,
it for
he's clearing out the magic immune. Or
yes,
the non-magic immune ones.
Yeah. Just easy money.
Yeah. That's like the one camp that he can... well, one ancient camp he can clear nicely.
Yeah, and in traditional James fashion, he's sitting in this mid lane, getting a few more levels.
Ooh, they're bringing a bunch of heroes top, but the Legion Commander is also up here with a duel ready to rock and roll. They want this Bristleback. They're going to go for him. They turn him around to face the music, and a few more auto attacks will do it. Saberlight even securing the dual damage for himself here as they look for the Pugna. He does have an Invis Rune, so easy escape for XM. He's going to be fine. No detection on the silence or anything, and XM actually thinking about going for a kill here, perhaps. He's waiting for the silencer to split up from his team. Taking a bit more damage. Doesn't have the global just yet. They do spot the Warlock down in the river. Looks like he's going to be dying pretty quickly, but the Morphling coming forward. Actually looking for this turnaround kill on the Pugna, and he didn't even quite kill off the Silencer. Did just get it now, but the Reaper Scythe is ready to rock and roll.
That is a long
and down
death time
goes
of 40
XM.
seconds.
And now Ursa trying to get involved here, getting some stacks going. Curry still pretty tanky, nice and high on the HP, but gets hexed up, pops the Ghost Shroud, hasn't been able to use his Veil just yet, so they're not getting the full damage out, and with the Enrage, the Ursa just tears him clean in half. They are going to go for another duel. Can they get yet another winner? The damage is big from the Ursa, but it's not quite enough. He's still chasing after. The Legion Commander's just that little bit too fast, and Supreme still fighting high on the Agi. They've got more room to chase. There isn't the Tier 1 tower left here anymore, but we'll be forced to give up the pursuit.
Really nicely done by Hippomaniacs, realizing that this is the time to make that aggression. Tomes aren't quite up. Still another 5 seconds until they come through. If they had the Warlock Golem, that would have been a completely different fight.
Oh, Rubik. He wants that bounty, but he's not going to be able to get it. James looking for the next one. Body blocking a little bit. Is the lift on cooldown? It's not.
Yeah.
He just lifts him, throws him over the top. Decrep coming in, but he will still be able to grab the bounty and grab his Arcane Boots, it looks like, before he went down. So not losing out on too much there.
Forcing him to use a little bit of mana and then obviously give up his life as well.
Yeah. And the other important thing is that they held that Tier 1 tower top, right? Pugna definitely rotated top with the intention of taking that Tier 1, but... Oh, and Saberlight picks up a freebie on James down bottom. Man, the Hippomaniacs cores are so willing to rotate around everywhere. I wonder what Saberlight's name translates to.
What do you mean?
Why has he changed it to that? It's in something in Chinese.
Maybe something that he's learned while he's here.
Maybe we can run it through. I think I saw him saying something about being a big SEC fan earlier. So.
Oh man, that range. The raindrop's actually saving him.
Yeah. All right, so he gets his tome delivered. They finally have the global silence ready. Legion, Drum, then into the Blink. Morphling, pretty standard, is going to be going for the Lincoln Sphere. Still not having the best of games, but at least recovering a little bit. And there is a bit of a worrying gap between the Bristleback and then the next core in this game. Not looking nearly as good as when Signal ran it.
Especially when you're comparing it with this Necrolite, right? Or Necrophos, rather. 2,300 net worth between the two. And, well, you can see that they're trying to put some more aggression onto this top tower. They don't have the Mass Serpent Wards just yet on James, so they're not going to even need it to take down this tower. But if they look to continue that aggression, they will need to pick up some other... Oh, no, he's just actually got it.
Hippo already setting up for mid lane, though. Looks like they should be able to get this. Bit difficult for CDEC to move into position. Bristleback going to go check it out, but he's not very tanky. I think they might just be able to like pop drum, phase boot in, jump him if he tries for anything cute here. And okay, very well realizing that I can't go for this. Oh, they do get the Drink Hip over on the Silencer. Is he going to pop the global? Doesn't use it just yet. Still getting drained out. Senny maybe brought down. Rubik did manage to steal the Chaotic Offering.
You've got to use something after it.
Well, normally I think he would just rock and then bonds afterwards. Now the Reaper Scythe coming in. Ursa just in completely the wrong place at the wrong time. Very cool green golem coming down.
Do you think if you die this early and you do have buyback, it's worth just popping it if you get Reaper Scythed? I feel like it is.
Not sure. Another duel coming in. Legion Commander hoping for some lucky procs to kill off James here. Not going to be enough, but the overwhelming odds plus a couple of auto attacks should do it. Doesn't have the Hex anymore. Morphling from the low ground will just snipe that one away, getting himself a little bit of additional farm. These supports continuing to not respect the high ground power of the Pugna as he just drains out all of their life, but really feels like it's only XM who's having that good of a game on the side of CDEC. Ursa is going for a Midas. That's going to help, but... Ursa needing to be careful now. Curry's still turning around on him. Did need to be a little bit careful of the Nether Ward, though. It's only the 1 point.
Especially while this Shadow Shaman isn't there at the team fight, the Necrophos, sorry, I keep going Necrolite.
Honestly, I'm not going to hold it against you.
Yeah. He isn't in too much danger of dying, right? Because he had 21 charges and he had plenty of mana to just use his Ghost Shroud and his heal. So how are you going to die in that scenario? At this page of the game, with the net worth lead that, well, he had previously.
Unless the Pugna is the one going on you, I think you're fine as Necro this game.
Even then, I don't think Pugna can solo kill.
No, probably not with the farm that the Necro has already.
We got Mass Serpent Wards coming up in 10, so will they try and make any sort of play happen?
Oh, another Blast stolen. Nice.
Oh, yeah, true, because he did die before, so no rock coming up again. I think you can just get 2 uses out of it through the level 1 spell steal. It's like right on the edge.
Yeah, I think it's like 110 versus 120 or something like that.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
You've got the Rubik here. The Nether Blast is going to give them that additional tower push. Pretty handy. And it's buffed as well by the Supremacy, which is...
I don't think he has any points in it at the moment.
You gotta get 1, right?
It's a real value point for sure. But I think he just wanted the little bit of additional lockdown, perhaps. Okay. CDEC are set up for this bottom tier 1 push.
They're keeping on pushing. They're realizing the threat of this Rubik.
They're gonna force them back at the very least. Decent tier 3 damage. CDEC still not respecting this yet. Rubik with the Nether Blast gonna chunk down this tower just that little bit more. Bristleback trying to march forward, but I don't think anyone's really all that afraid of this Bristle. Though Hippomaniacs will still respect it enough to back off. Oh, and we got flag shenanigans happening again. No, in game.
Oh yes, of course.
Yeah. Yep, they're going for the fight. Global Silence coming out, trying to cover this duel, looking for the James kill first. That's going to be another +2 for Senny. They're looking in the back lines as well. They do find out the Pugna. Defensive Dreamcap going to keep himself alive for a little bit longer as the Netherworld is doing some work, and the support's getting split off. James did buy back into this fight, but Ursa's quite low. He's got the Enrage, going to be looking for the turnaround. Necrophos still has the Scythe available, but he is getting kited by the decap. Bristleback needs to be careful, wants to wait out this Arcane Curse, but also doesn't want to just sit here and wait things out completely. We do have Necrophos trapped inside of the Mass Serpent Wards, also hexed up, but Curry is just surviving for such a long time. He's going to get the Reaper Scythe heal, but it's not quite going to be enough. James chasing forward, but he gets brought down. This Netherward in the middle of the fight doing so much. And they're looking for one more. Legion Commander does get the phase boots off, and looks like we'll be able to run this one out. They get another goo. Okay, looks like they are actually gonna be able to get him. And that is gonna be a nice turnaround for CDEC. Supreme wants a little more, but needs to be careful. They want the Ursa, but he gets decrept. Ursa still surviving. Can they cancel this TP out? No James in the area. He is already dead, so fairly safe aggression from the Morphling, but still a good turnaround from CDEC, at least after how that fight started with James dying instantly.
But when they were pushing onto that tier 3 tower, I'm pretty impressed with Hippo, to be honest. They had the timing of the rock down to a second. They backed off like 2 seconds before it was actually back online. He didn't have mana for it to cast it straight away anyway, but just realizing the threat that's coming through, you know, they're keeping track of all of these really high cooldowns, and it's great to see.
The 2 supports are looking for something.
Well, they know that he's sitting right there. They do have the Sentry Ward.
The Warlock doesn't quite see him. It is nighttime, so Sansa just doing a little bit of scouting. We've got Bristleback pushing up top, but Legion Commander is looking for him right now. Going to go for the TP out, and we'll be able to escape. Scan, I think, connected, so they should realize that he's gone at this point. Morphling just going to chill out and farm for a little bit more. I think that makes sense.
Yep, go on that Lincolns.
Yeah.
So just not wanting to get instantly burst down by this Pugna, and protects him a little bit from the lockdown from the Shadow Shaman as well.
Yeah, it's such a comfort item on the Morphling as well. Like, if it's a good Lincoln Sphere game, I think a lot of Morphling players just like having it.
Is it a good Lincoln Sphere game, though? You've just got the Bristleback that can just goo. And
I think it's mostly about the... yeah, that's true. The goo can be problematic, but I think it's more about, like, the Shaman getting you from Fog or getting you with a Blink.
Yeah.
It means that you can stay at full Agi pretty reliably, and then morph when it's needed. Oh my god, he's just dead. Oh man.
What was that about Agi?
Decrep, gone.
I guess he didn't have the Lincolns just yet, so... Yeah.
No, the Lincolns would have helped.
Yeah.
But still, oh my word. I've seen that happen with Finger of Death before. I haven't really seen it with just the Pugna damage. But
I don't know.
Not even a whoops from Supreme. It's just, he's stunned.
Oh, he's going in deep here on the LC.
Wants something, going to be looking for this Pugna. Needs to find the Pugna. Actually, whoever he finds, the other person's probably just going to go for the lockdown. Nice Hex from James. Secures the TP out. They are going to be looking for him now, though, and they will find him in the trees.
Poor James.
That's going to be another 2 int lost, and another 10 dual damage for Saberlight. Pretty happy with that.
Sacrificing himself for the good of his team.
That was 100% worth it.
Yeah. Okay, going into a Solar Crest here on the Bristleback. He's still about 2,000 gold away, but if there are any more camps stacked up, then it's going to accelerate that a fair amount.
Bristleback's still not going to be that scary, but at least buying nice utility items, I suppose, for his team.
Protects him a little bit as well against the LC if he does jump on someone. I guess
that's true.
A lot of the damage, though, is magical that's coming through from the Morphling and the Necro as well. So it doesn't really do all that much. Maybe it's more of an offensive thing. Allow the Ursa to get that additional movement speed, get those couple of early stacks of the Fury swipes up.
Gives them an ultra easy Roshan as well between Goo, Solar, and Ursa's damage.
Yeah.
That Roshan's going to die in like 2 seconds flat. Hippo definitely needs to be aware of that this game.
Curry's, I think, foxing a little bit here. He's just saying, oh no, I'm in a pretty horrible position. What'll I do? I hope they don't jump me. And then the entire team just comes and gangs up on him from behind. But no, he's pretty happy to just rotate through here. They're actually not putting any pressure onto this mid-tier 2 tower either. Just looking to back off. And if you're CDEC, you're very happy with this because they're playing reactionary Dota.
Yeah, but they're still getting 2 bounties for themselves here. I think they read that smoke very, very nicely. Realized that it was pretty likely that they were going to be smoking for the bounties, smoking to try and clear out the top wave, hoping to kill the Bristleback off again.
They didn't even have any vision, right, of where they smoked?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
But it was suspicious seeing the, like you said, it's suspicious seeing the Necrophos just charging down the mid lane like that. But, okay,
forward.
my big thing is, are all of these delays worth it for CDEC, though? Surely they have the inferior late game lineup here.
With the Necro, though, you scale pretty well with Necro.
No, I mean CDEC have the lockdown. Necrophos, they're trying to save him. Does get the Ghost Shroud out, still alive, but this Netherward is doing work. He's going to Yules himself up, buys a little bit more time. Should be able to get off another pulse, but the Legion Commander not actually going to live, gets brought down. That is going to be a big problem in this fight. And Morphling now also getting locked down. This Upheaval doing so much work as the Shackle also coming through. Hippomaniacs just not respecting CDEC's team fight. And now they're going to get chased even further down. Rubik also in some trouble. Super slowed down by the Decrypt. He's going to throw a little bit of damage back in the opposite direction. But CDEC, what a clean team fight win from them.
It was. Right at the end, I don't know what Muff was thinking. He actually pulled the Pugna closer to him so that he could get the Decrypt off and they could chase him down. Sorry, I was talking about the Warlock before.
Yeah, the late game potential.
Yeah.
Well, we might not even get to that point with the way that CDEC are now snowballing.
Oh, even
mid
now
lane,
the Necro, he instantly TP'd back and he might be bursted down.
Yeah, no way out. Just completely ward trapped. That Nether Ward is doing so much work.
Might have been chased down this Silencer, no? Happy to back off a little bit. All they really wanted was the Aegis, and as you said, it just gets taken in an instant. Wow, this lineup.
All of a sudden, it's an 8k net worth lead in favor of CDEC. Are there any items that are coming up for Hippo that are really going to help with this situation? It does feel like the Necro is actually hitting a little bit of a wall now that the Pugna is maxing out the Netherward. The Netherward, yeah. I didn't expect it to be so good, but it's really negating a ton of the healing that he's getting from Death Pulse.
This is true. You know, you can't just spam it out with Reckless Abandon if you're coming up against another one. They don't really have anything that deals with it all too well, right? If you're the Morphling, you really want to be shotgunning someone down. You don't want to be walking into these team fights on that full agi that you need to do that burst damage. Legion's probably going to be dueling someone, so what? A Silencer and a Rubik have to deal with it?
Yeah, and I mean, look at this. Ursa all of a sudden #1 on net worth, still has another Midas activation, and
going for a Nullifier.
He's going straight for Nullifier, yeah.
Okay, well the Blade Mail could be useful if they pick off someone. I feel like the Ursa's been pretty close to dying a lot of the time.
Yeah. Yeah, they need that damage just so that they can start landing the sides on people. Oh, they're looking for the initiation. They do get the Hex out from the trees, looking for a little bit more. Necrophos, can they keep him alive here? Global Silence forced out. They need to try and find something on the turnaround here. It is going to be James. He gets scythed down, and they immediately head towards the Nether Ward, bringing that down as well. But CDEC, they've only got 8 seconds to go on the Chaotic Offering, and once James is back up, there will not be the Reaper Scythe available.
Or no Global as well.
Yeah. So the Ursa even going to feel confident just to start working on this tier 2 tower. Still hanging on to this 7k net worth lead. And back up to 8k.
Yeah. Oh, now they have even more potential for this CC. Now if the Ursa gets tooled as well, you're going to be stunning up this LC somewhat. Reduces some of the damage that's coming through from it.
We haven't checked them in a little bit, but Bristleback is now top 4 on the net worth. He's actually caught up pretty nicely. Going to be going for a BKB next.
From where was he, like 6th?
Yeah, he was like 6th. Above the supports, but that was about it. This Legion Commander does feel like, I suppose that the other cores are not as strong. I know CDC have started sort of itemizing against them a little bit better.
They're trying to just wait in these trees, just saying, look, there's some tasty range creeps.
Yeah.
Come and get them. But
CDC they're not falling for it. They don't see anybody who's actively threatening the building, right? So what's the big rush.
Reasoning?
Yeah.
They're just throwing James at it again. He's probably going to die, but not too big a deal.
He's going to probably nuke from Fog, right? Or just sit here. Okay. He's actually kind of setting up.
Oh,
they're
no,
TPing out.
TPing out. That timing. But now they know the Shadow Shaman's not there. So if they try and instantly go on someone, let's say this Ursa, for example.
Oh, they're looking for him, but he got the enrage off. Fast fingers. He just wants the damage. Can he get it? Not quite there in time, but one more auto attack. And Eve brings down Saberlight easily. They needed a little bit more there, or just to get the duel a bit faster. Ursa actually just going to pop the BKB and start running at him. Senni, what can they do to save him? Doesn't seem like there's anything, and he's still got this Aegis. His team is coming to join him right now. Eve going to be looking for a little bit more. They've got the Pugna in there on the front lines. Glimmer Cape slowing down the Rubik, looking for this kill. Nice and easy. Tried to cast one last spell, but just ends up dying to the Nether Ward.
I think he tried decrypting himself for some reason. Like, what's that going to do against a Pugna?
Yeah.
Well, it's definitely gone a lot more in CDEC's favor ever since. It felt like ever since that duel that actually went the way of the Ursa instead of the Legion.
Yeah, well, Hippo just didn't have everybody there. CDC, I would say at that moment, playing a little bit better with their positioning, and yeah, now they're the ones who are going to start chipping away at this high ground. Normally, Ursa not the best pushing hero, but he's not the real pusher this game.
No.
They've got the Mass Serpent Wards, they've got the
Siege Creep
Nether
and
Ward
the Pugna.
spam. Yeah, this is going to be a pretty easy tier 3, it looks like. And once they get that, can
backing off.
look to take out the shrines. One more blast, and that's going to do it. All right, they really need this E-Blade to come online on the Morphling. He's still not looking all that great on net worth.
And after what was looking so promising as well, as they were nearly getting, that tier 3 tower in the top lane on Hippomaniacs side, so...
Well, the Necrophos seemed like a good idea, but...
I mean, it was. The early game went well.
Yeah, that's true.
I think maybe just a couple of missed duels, maybe prioritizing the wrong target, but also, has to be said, some really nice positioning as well from CDEC, especially the supports. James hasn't had the flashy style that we've become accustomed to seeing, but he hasn't needed to. You know, this Warlock has gotten off some great upheavals in the right places, and the Netherblast in combination with the Fatal Bonds has been ripping through a lot of the health.
It seems really impossible to bring down these supports on the CDC side. They've just been hiding in fog. Hippomaniacs unable to jump them. Do you feel like Hippomaniacs, that they didn't heed your warning? They didn't pick up enough initiation tools this game? Is that part of it?
I mean, the LC is the initiator, but she doesn't have a blink. So, or she just maybe recently got it, but she hasn't had it for a decent amount of time. And
oh, man.
if you're not able to follow up on it as well, like I don't think the Morphling's been playing around it quite enough.
All right, TPing out. Yeah, the Morphling is not doing that hot. He is... Actually, the Pugna is such a perfect hero this game to punish all of the bristleback counters from Hippomaniacs. It's actually good against all of their cores.
And just again, CDEC know that something's up. No one's protecting this tier 2 tower right now.
This is a pretty obvious smoke, and they're just waiting. Obs plus Sentry, somebody waiting to break it. Tier 2 takes a bunch of damage.
They've got the high ground.
Yeah.
I suppose they do know with this dire Observer Ward near the Radiant bot shrine that Bristleback's just passing underneath now. They know that they're not smoked either. So they could look to maybe get a pick off here. You know, you can see a couple of heroes sitting in this creep wave. If they're really fast finger, they could get to it, but Morphling isn't there either. So I don't know how I'd feel about taking this sort of initiation.
Pugna would be a nice grab, but always have to be wary of the rock. They have to kill... I think they have to kill a core in the duration of the global. Otherwise, they're in big trouble. Morphling, still not a ton of net worth, has been playing with his team quite a bit. Not the not necessarily the Morphling game that we're used to seeing, right? I feel like a lot of the time it's Morphling far and away #1 on net worth, just cruising, but not the case for Supreme this game.
I think a lot of that has to go back to how that laning stage went. You know, it was pure domination from the Pugna. You can only
no doubt about that.
Yeah, you can only adaptive strike so many range creeps. You know, it's not going to get you every single one. Well, every single creep.
This Pugna has done so much work. So I think he queued up a Glimmer Cape and a Blink, and then he was queuing up just the rest of his Dagon levels.
Yeah,
Dagon is such a nice item on this hero. Like, it's probably, is it like the one hero where, or it's probably the one hero where Dagon is most core, right? Like Tinker kind of used to be, but not as much anymore.
Necro can go it. If
Puck
really
still buys it occasionally, but I think we see it most frequently on Pugna, actually.
Yeah. I mean, we saw it in TI finals last time.
Yeah.
That instant burst. 100-0 on certain more squishy cores is still possible.
Yeah, you can certainly see why. It's really annoying because it puts a ton of pressure on your BKB as well. You're like, I got decrept, now I have to BKB every single time. Oh.
But like, where's the follow-up? Like, who is this Legion hoping to find?
I guess just one of the squishy supports, but yeah, it's very difficult. And Ursa, okay, didn't go for the nullifier right away. He's got his Blink Basher now, and now going back for that nullifier. Necropho's just wanting to pick up some Guardian Greaves. So what's that useful against? The Goo, Bonds.
Bonds. I think Bonds is easily the most. I mean, Decrep.
Yeah. That's actually a very good point.
Does it get rid of the Fury swipe stacks?
No.
Yeah, I thought not. It's one of those few undispellable things, and
yeah, there's actually not too many undispellable debuffs these days.
Well, they've even got an additional form of initiation here with the Blink Dagger on the Shadow Shaman. They're going to probably look to get onto this backline and try and lock down the Shadow Shaman before he can get that global off.
No. Hippo just holding their high ground. But 14k net worth lead now in favor of CDC and still climbing. Not really feeling forced into making any kind of a play. Roshan actually going to be coming up relatively soon, it looks like. That's a fairly slow clock, so it might be close to a max spawn timer, but they're just controlling the entire map.
He's gone back into the nullifier now. We'll probably look to sell his Magic Wand and pick it up, or just use the spot for the Aegis. Nearly getting that completed Dagon 5 as well on the Pugna, which is going to be even more burst.
So much damage. Oh, Hex, jump in. Can they keep this Necrophos alive? He gets zapped. Rubik, what's he stolen? Does get the shackles, looking to run forward, but this upheaval, Necrophos just can't go anywhere. They jump in, they pop the global. Is that going to be enough to save the Necro? The Ursa BKB wearing down a little bit as now they go in with the duel, plus the Scythe. They will not get the Scythe bonuses, but still winner damage and a much better taken fight from Hippomaniacs as they find a good turnaround there.
James playing with fire a little bit, standing on that high ground, knowing he has the blink out, but still a little bit risky. And Roshan has respawned, so they've got 70 seconds.
Oh, they get the Yules on the Bristle. They're looking at him. Once again, the Netherworld gets popped down, gets pinged out immediately by Silencer. They don't want to find underneath that. Bristleback still pretty strong. He's got his 10-second BKB, I believe, ready to rock and roll. And level 20, so doing a decent amount of damage now. But Curry still wants to pressure him a bit. Just poking and prodding, burning away a little bit of life. He does have 47 HP regen, so actually not taking any damage from the Heartstopper aura. Man, the new Heartstopper is so sad.
Yeah.
But Necro was busted beforehand. So.
He got a tiny bit of a buff to it, right? Recently?
I think they buffed some of the low levels a little bit. They're jumping in, looking for the duel, but BKB comes out from the Bristle. Only 20 seconds to go on the Ursa. This is not the best opportunity, and James finds the lockdown. There's the Mass Serpent Wards getting dropped. Legion Commander just going to be brought down. Waveform in for the Morphling. What can he actually do here? Gets his Lincoln Sphere pretty much immediately popped. He is now morphing over into the Bristleback form, as the Fatal Bonds are going to push them back, but James once again going in, looking for that little bit more. Morphling's pretty tanky though. They need to be careful. James almost dead on the sideline. Senny just going to stand his ground looking for this kill. The Adaptive Strike puts James in the hole, as now Silencer getting brought down, but Ursa is in here, pops the Enrage immediately. Brings down one. They're looking for a little bit more. Can they get the lockdown onto the Necrophos? Yes, they can. CDEC cleaning up this fight. Hippomaniacs unable to retreat cleanly. And Pugna even looking for a little bit more.
It was just that second iteration of the Fatal Bonds doing so much damage, even when the Ursa's just on one target. It takes away, what, a quarter of everyone else's HP just from that pure right-click.
And Ursa just going to go quickly solo Roche while his team actually continues the push.
Why not? And he's going to be able to finish up Basher as well as soon as this goes down.
Yep. Oh man, then Enrage. And go and deliver those items to your team. Glyph already getting forced out. Necro's dead for 30. They are going to have their other heroes up in 8 seconds time, but I don't know. Hippomaniacs not looking like they're going to be able to defend this first lane of barracks.
Yeah, Monkey hitting away on the melee rock.
Jump in. They got the duel. Do they have the damage? They're looking for the Pugna. Can they bring him down?
Surely.
He's also lifted, but he's still surviving. They don't get the duel damage. They lose the Legion Commander. Bristleback on the front lines. 2 BKBs popped, and this upheaval is just such a big problem. Rubik unable to escape. Morph already morphing strength. Getting hexed up. James once again with the jump in. They're going to try and keep their Morphling alive. The global is not enough to save him. And these 2 buybacks, will they actually find anything? Bristleback willing to put his life on the line just to finish off the melee barracks as he runs his way out of here with the singular arcane curse upon him. But Hippomaniacs now falling further and further behind. 20k deficit against CDEC.
And forcing the buyback from that Legion Commander. Yeah, it's not great that the Pugna died, but he didn't even have to use his buyback. He was happy. He was realizing that his team has got this completely covered. And again, in that team fight, instantly that Lincoln's was popped by the Viscous Nasal Goo. So, you know, it just feels like it's completely worthless against this Bristleback.
Yeah, and Warlock's gone. Warlock has his Ags now as well. Having a great game. TDC didn't look so hot at first for the combo, but they're running in on the front lines. Lotus doing some decent work. The Abyssal Blade coming through. Nice Yules. Trying to get pop, but is that going to be enough? They jump in, they duel the back lines, looking for the Shaman kill. They are going to get it. That's damage for the Legion Commander. They're still chasing. Necrophos, I don't know if he has any cooldowns left. He's been solo crested. There's the Guardian Greaves helping to keep him alive a little bit longer. The Purge as well. They're looking for one bash, but they don't even need it. They bring him down easily, dead for 70 seconds. The Pugna now rejoining them as XM's going to help his team look for yet another lane of racks, and Hippomaniacs just don't really seem to have a whole lot of fight left.
I was thinking maybe you might have tried to pop that Reapers just even for the small amount of stun. That's how desperate it's gotten, because now it just means that these tier 3s probably are going to be going down. The constant damage coming through from the siege creeps.
Reconsiders the dive, just goes straight back to hitting the buildings.
Yeah.
CDC have learned some lessons.
Some PTSD coming through there.
Yep. Okay. Secure the lanes, secure the lead, secure the game. It should be pretty much a 100% win for CDEC at this point. The Morphling is trying to hit this Bristleback, but it's just not doing anything. Legion Commander jumped in with the Blade Mail pops, decided better of it. Did not want to tango, especially with the Chaotic Offering up and available and no Global Silence to help cover.
Did he go the Enrage status resist here on the Ursa? It was the left talent.
I'm not sure which one is which.
No.
I'm not Steez Beans.
No, you're not Steez Beans. Not the, I don't know, yeah, status resist is nice. The Earthstruck AoE just looks so cool. Like, it's like a...
The animation looks so broken.
Yeah.
I guess we'll be able to tell shortly.
I mean, they've got a lot of slows right now on the team so far, with the Bristle, with the
Hippomaniacs smoking up, but they're smoking straight into some vision. They're going to break the smoke in a second.
Up onto the high ground.
CDC looking for their initiation. Warlock in a good position. Can they lock him down? Don't know if they're going to be able to. They get the lift up onto the Bristleback. Rubik being saved for a second. Rock getting dropped. Ursa damage into the Legion Commander. The Global Silence helping out a little bit. They are going to lose the Ursa, but the Legion Commander also dies, and that's only the Aegis for your Ursa. Silencer getting locked down in the back lines. He gets auto-attacked to death. They pop the Lincolns, and then they pop the Morphling. Now you see him, now you don't, and Hippomaniacs going to be forced to call the GG. This Pugna pick doing so much work for CDEC.
Insane gameplay from CDEC there, being able to turn that back around for them. And you just knew, even in that last team fight, things weren't going to go Hippomaniacs' way. The Morphling forced to use his E-Blade onto a Rubik, who then just died 3 seconds afterwards anyway. So how are you going to win any sort of fight if you're saving your position for...
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was really hard.
But that's game 1 going the way of CDEC. Pretty dominant fashion.
Good play.
Yeah.
Turns out that the Bristleback can actually still recover after such a garbage start as well. Part of that, I think, is that the Necro got really heavily counterpicked. I had forgotten. I'd remembered Pugna can kill Necro because he can just keep draining and decrep him and doesn't care about the Ghost Shroud. I had forgotten about how good the Nether Ward was.
Yeah. It's absolutely insane just being able to lock him down so much. And, I mean, that's prediction number 2 that we've gotten wrong. I'm not liking it too much. It's,
we had too much faith
wrong.
in Hippomaniacs.
Yeah, that is true.
Okay.
We liked the draft.
I liked the draft. I think it had the right idea, but I did not realize how badly Pugna would just keep Morphling out of the game.
Yeah.
Like, he won the lane really hard. Morphling was like middle net worth the whole game. He went and fought with his team. He died the once randomly at bottom.
Yeah.
And he just never really got there. He was supposed to be the big damage dealer. Like, they were supposed to blink in duel, Morphling does damage, Scythe comes in. But without that middle piece, the whole thing falls apart. Because
maybe the Blink Dagger was a little late. I think that might have been the thing. Because
the Legion Commander as well, not having the best time,
Well, he had items. It just didn't really fit together what the rest of his team should be doing, right? Like, the Morphling didn't have the E-Blade, so you didn't have the full shotgun. But you at least can use the Adaptive Strike, and you can at least use the Reaper Scythe to combo together to burst down something like the Pugna. You know, because what other saves do they have beyond that? A part of that can be put to the Pugna being in the good position, so he's not getting jumped on. But you know, the Warlock isn't really going to save anyone instantly like that.
No, that's true. And they were supposed to have the global as well. That was the thing. Like, once they fell behind a little bit, they couldn't put their team fight together in exactly the way that they wanted. Right? It was supposed to be blink duel, global, get that kill, move on. Instead, it was like blink duel, global. Legion is maybe dead, maybe not. Like, maybe Ursa got Enrage off. Or somebody's getting Solar Crested, or there's a Decrepify. There's all these different things that could mess up their combos.
And it felt like CDEC as well were kind of just feeling like they were baiting out the use of the Global Silence, and the Warlock was like, well, I wasn't really going to drop Rock anyway, so let's just reset and go in another 20 seconds.
Yeah, like there was 1 or 2 times where James died, right? And they like globaled, and they were like, CDC were like, okay.
That's our pause 4.
Sure, yeah.
He'll be up soon.
Enjoy.
Yeah. But Rock always just so impactful in these team fights, going through BKBs, which I don't think they even had one picked up on Hippomaniac's side. Maybe one, but...
Do you think that is the Warlock Bristle, is that a combo? Is that a 2-piece thing? If Warlock
not a laning combo.
If Warlock gets banned, will they not pick Bristle? Like, is Bristleback that good? Like,
I think Bristleback is good in that he can come back, he can flash farm if he's been behind. You just need the help from your supports as well, right? They need to be able to be stacking while you're, getting an occasional free lane for yourself. So, and then as it gets later on, they didn't really. The Nyx Assassin, could that come through? The Viper was banned. They didn't have anyone like a Dragon Knight that could easily break it as well. So you have to think about that sort of stuff too.
Yeah, 100%. I'm curious to see how the draft goes, the next one, because I think it's going to look completely different to this draft. Like, CDC have other stuff up their sleeves. Like, maybe we'll see the Ursa again. But even if, like, the Bristleback doesn't make it through, then I doubt we're going to see any of those. Maybe the Morphling, but, like, the Legion and the Necrophos felt like such targeted answers to what CDEC had, and then they had the trump card. It was like back and forth. We've got Pugna. Good luck.
I don't mind the Legion.
Necrophos is in a weird place.
Get out.
That hero's bad.
Yeah.
He's got cool new hats.
Yeah.
Didn't have the hats.
Didn't even have it.
That's
that
the
was
other
the
problem.
issue.
Truly.
That was it. We should have waited until we saw the
Hippomaniacs,
hats.
2 disappointments.
Yeah.
They were the first ones to pick the Invoker. No Persona. They picked the Necrophos. No Bird Necrophos.
Do they not have the compendium?
Somebody hook these guys up with some hats.
In the Czech Republic, do they not have?
Somebody needs to hook these guys up with some hats.
I mean, not me. I want my hats.
No?
Yeah, they're mine.
Fair enough.
I haven't even used my own Invoker persona. Well, I don't play Invoker anyway, but...
Are you still you think you're going to be one of those guys? No? You're going to go back?
MMR.
You're just going to go home, you're going to play some old, reliable Winter Wyvern.
I can't wait. Wait. Why didn't they pick it? It would have been such a
It would have been a pretty good...
Because you could just lock down the Pugna, and then you can combo straight after that. It just works really well.
No. Yeah, it could have been good.
And maybe they're just... I was about to say they're not on my level, but no. they're here playing for $20,000, you know? That's pretty insane.
Yeah, well,
And-
what's your all-time winnings on Wikipedia? Mine's like $34.
Yeah, I did see that actually. Mine must have been a tournament
Or
that wasn't
38, I'm
listed.
not sure.
You know? But we did see Hippomaniacs take the only game, not the series, but the only game that Newbies dropped this entire tournament. They went 2-1 in their semi-final against Newbie, so they can bring it back against CDEC.
Yeah, I think they just need to have the right kind of lineup. They need to have that team fight set up. They need to be able to just kind of run at you constantly, keep getting kills. They were kind of waiting for the Morphling that game, and I think that's part of the problem, that they're a team that you see it every single time they smoke. They love smoking as 5. Like, sometimes it makes it a little bit obvious, but that's their play, and I think they just need to make sure that they have a lineup that synergizes with that play.
Maybe, I don't think the Morphling's the style of carry to go for that, right? You kind of need to leave the Morphling on his own, realize that he's going to farm. If he then wants to join his team in these team fights, maybe go something like a Boots of Travel earlier on than you might want to. But at least it creates pressure around these other areas of the map so that you're not completely focused. It's not super obvious, as you were saying, because we saw, I think, 2 times that CDEC could read exactly what Hippomaniacs were trying to do, even without any sort of observer ward vision.
I think I want to keep an eye on the ward game as well for game number 2. Just like, that can also often be something that we don't always necessarily look at as casters. It can be hard to pay attention to because we've got all the vision on the map.
Yeah.
But thinking about, okay, is one team getting dewarded heavily? Are there smoke moves being stymied because of that? That's a really important part of the game. And we're both support players, so hopefully we can,
I'll be like, oh, I'll use that.
That was a cool ward.
I'll use that location in my next game.
Yeah.
But we'll have to see. So, are we still thinking it's 2-1 for the whole series? Or based off that, do you think that CDEC can take it in a 2-0?
It's a tough call.
Yeah.
I think it might still be a 2-1.
Yeah.
I think Hippo can still bring it back.
I do too. They looked very strong in the early stages. It was just like one fight and like one pickoff went CDEC's way, and then suddenly they're 8k behind.
They just kind of stumbled not moving into this item timing that they were expecting, I think. That was the hope. Like they thought, okay, Legion Blink and Necro has some items, and then the shotgun's supposed to come up, and it's like, wait, where's the shotgun?
Yeah.
Why isn't this item here yet? It's supposed to be here at this timing. We've taken all of these early towers as well. Like, Morphling should have more farm than this, but the lane going badly just kind of shut down his whole game.
It felt like they had some of the pieces of the puzzle, but not the entire thing. I pointed out that they were pinpoint with their accuracy of getting back when that Warlock Golem was going to be back online. They had really good teamwork within the team fights, but they just didn't have the item synergy with each other. They didn't have the cohesion to make sure everything came online at the same time versus, we've seen it with CDEC in this game as well as Newbie. These Chinese teams really focus on different aspects of the game, and it's worked for them so far.
XM, the MVP, you think, for
Oh, yeah,
CDEC?
absolutely.
Yeah,
he was beyond godlike.
He played
at the end,
fantastically.
right?
Yeah.
So it's hard to give it to anyone but him after that great laning stage, as well as transitioning it into a few solo pickups. When that Morphling exploded, oof.
It's hard to give an MVP to like a Warlock as well. That hero is just like, press your buttons.
I don't know. Game 3 of the first semi-final that we cast, Warlock was
Warlock
probably
I
I
think he was up there. That's true.
Yeah. I mean, you're putting a damper on the POS 5 support, man. Like, it takes skill to know when to use that because it's... No, it is. Like, it's such a long cooldown,
It is.
right?
It is. Like, I agree. And I think Warlock is now at a point where they've nerfed bonds enough that we're probably like in okay territory for Warlock. He can be vulnerable to, if you have the right combination of like vision plus jump, just kill the Warlock first, that hero can look useless. So there is some positioning there for sure.
And players of this caliber, they do know, right, let's try and bait out the Warlock Golem.
And then reset. Yeah,
Like,
or just kill it and
if
reset.
2 of us die, whatever, reset, let's go.
Yeah, that's true. Especially in the early stages of the game. It's a super long cooldown.
Yeah. So, and really impactful as well for what it is, right? Like that, just the pure AoE of the stun is insane, right?
Yeah.
That's why I like Wyvern. It's only 80-second cooldown. So
That's
it's like, you can screw it up and then...
You can use it more freely.
Yeah.
It's kind of on the same level as like, I guess Disruptor, kind of. Disruptor's a little bit shorter
Ancient
even,
Apparition is pretty short.
Yeah.
Who else are we thinking? Lena?
It's not a support, but Mars. Arena of Blood, you can actually just kind of throw out.
Yeah.
That's like, okay.
Do you think we'll ever see like... I think we've seen POS 4 Mars. POS 5?
I think POS 4 Mars was okay when like spear plus ulti was strong enough that you didn't really need his other two abilities. Because that's the thing about position for Mars, is you don't really use his other two skills at all. But now with the numbers being tweaked and stuff like that, I'm not sure that position for Mars is still viable. I'm actually concerned that if Mars gets like, I don't know if he has a clear identity in the game at the moment. Like lots of other heroes, I can point to them and say, this hero is a counterpick to this hero, like that's their place, or this is their job in the meta.
Yeah.
Mars doesn't really have that to me. Like,
yeah. I mean, I feel like he's good against certain heroes that might be out of the meta. Like the PA, he's pretty good against, right? Because he can just shove him against a tree, you just face him, he doesn't do too much damage, and then you use the rebuke, and he can't really do too much.
Yeah, I can see that.
Even the Stifling Dagger, like if you're facing him, that gets blocked out by the Bulwark as well. So pretty handy to have. True. Slark, he's alright as well against.
Kind
of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be it for this Game 1 discussion. We will be back with Game 2 shortly, and we'll see if CDEC can take out Game 2 or if we're going to a Game 3.
To WCG 2019, where we go beyond the game. We have another game here of Dota 2 for you. We've got Hippomaniacs versus CDEC here in our third place decider match. If you're just tuning in, CDEC are currently leading the series 1-0. So I think we'll get into the next draft pretty quickly. Yeah, and unfortunately, there's no money for fourth place.
No.
So winner of this, 20K, loser, nothing. Maybe they got a little WCG pin or something.
Is mine straight?
No.
It's sorted now.
It keeps spinning. Yeah, that's fine.
It's a feature.
I'm not even wearing mine.
You're wearing your Mudkip, right?
Yeah, I got my Mudkip one on.
Very nice.
I probably should have worn the WCG one. When am I ever going to wear it again?
Next tournament?
Yeah.
Next year?
That would be hype.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. But
it's going to go in my like mementos box along with all of my event passes as well. I've got a big box of these.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
Anyway, so we do have a draft coming up for you guys.